Welcome to an even less scripted than ever episode of Cooking on the Fry. Today we are doing vegetable egg scramble. Yay! And the reason why we're doing this is because I have a bunch of vegetables that I bought for a vegetarian pizza project that didn't really go that well. And I've got these leftovers. And it's time to use them or lose them, which to me is why I do a lot of cooking. So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my non-stick pan up to medium. So the strategy here is to get the vegetables sauteing and then throw in the eggs and scramble them and end up with scrambled eggs with vegetables. Now, vegetables saute at different rates. Peppers are very tough, and so are mushrooms. And then there's that shallot, whatever, that fancy onion in there that I want to get in there. I'm going to do the mushrooms first, and then the shallot and the pepper. The tomatoes are last because they break down pretty quickly, I've found. So we'll save those for a little before the eggs go in. Since we're doing low temperature cooking, I'm going to go with my extra light olive oil and get the mushrooms going first. Okay, first I'm going to take the leftover mushrooms and put them in here. Some of the water. Rinse them off. Whether they need it or not, that just seems to be the thing to do. And dump them in here. Yay! Simmer away, mushrooms. Okay, next comes our lovely shallot, whatever. There you go. Get the outside off. And this is not the ultimate reference to how to cut one of these up. I'm going to try to do it without getting tears in my eyes because it basically is an onion. Okay, there we go. And then it's got another layer. Beautiful. I'm going to peel this off, and I'm not going to run the camera while I do it. So, okay, we've got the next layer of skin off the shallot or onion here, and I'm going to try to cut it up in the way that they show you to cut onions. Oh, that went well. Without getting a lot of tears. Wow, just here. Always cut away from your hand. This is not going well. Okay. I'm just going to cut it up and get it into the pan as quickly as I can. So here we go. There we go. And this isn't so bad. Here we go. Don't need the rest of it. Let's just get this cut into little pieces because I really just want to use it up. I shelled out for the shallot, and I'm going to use it just to get some flavoring to my egg scramble. So there we go. Break it up a little and get it over here into there. Beautiful. So now we've got mushrooms and shallot, onions in there, simmering away, which is great. Okay, next to cut up our peppers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice lengthwise. You can barely see this, okay? There we go. And leave all the seeds in the middle because we don't want the seeds. And if a few make it in, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but in general, do not want the seeds. So there we go. Seeds out of there. There's our peppers. I'm going to cut them up and basically make them very small. So our pepper is now cut up into little pepper pieces, and there it goes. And I've covered it up, and I'm just going to leave that for a while and let the peppers cook down a bit. This could take a few minutes, I have no idea. I'm going to turn down the heat, so we're a little more like simmering now. Turn down the heat to 1/3 and just leave these for about 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, now time to cut up the tomatoes, and again, I just want pieces of tomato. I don't want the seeds in the middle because they kind of make things bitter. I just want some tomato flavor. So what I'm going to do is just, yeah, there we go. Get the seeds out of there. If you can see this, but I'm trying to get the seeds out. There we go. Okay, seeds out, seeds out. Okay, buy seeds. One down. So these are Roma tomatoes, if anybody cares about tomato stuff. There you go. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to keep slicing up this tomato into little tomato pieces while I'm waiting for my peppers and my shallot to cook down. So I won't bore you with the rest, but we're going to have a bunch of tomato pieces in a couple minutes. Well, there's a bunch of very non-expertly cut up tomato waiting to be added. Let's do the eggs. I'm going to use 4 eggs, and the reason why you're staring at this stamp is because the bottom row of characters, the last 3 digits, is the Julian date, and the higher that date is, the fresher the eggs are. I buy eggs for freshness, not for size. Well, this is going well. Just setting up for this shot, I managed to damage one of these eggs. So I'm going to try to get this one in the bowl. There we go. With no shell. Good. There we go. Whoops, little shell. There we go. Out of there. And no shell. What the hell? Seriously? Okay, there's some kind of red thing in there. Okay, great. I'm starting over. Cut. Seriously, what is the red thing in the egg white? I've never seen this before in my life. And now I've got to change the batteries in this camera. Wow. Okay, I just did some Googling, and it turns out that this is what's known as a blood spot, which is caused by the rupture of a blood vessel during the egg formation process. It's supposedly harmless and indicates that the egg is very fresh because these dilute over time in the egg, apparently. So I guess that old Julian date trick really worked, huh? So anyway, we've got our blood spot out, and I've got 4 more eggs ready to go here for my egg vegetable scramble. Okay, well, all I wanted to do was get my eggs ready to dump in my vegetables. So thankfully, while I was freaking out and looking up information, my peppers and onions and mushrooms have sauteed kind of nicely. I'll break these up. These are new eggs. Did I mention that I freaked out and dumped out the others, even though technically it looks like I didn't have to, but I'm not going to mix a blood spot into my eggs on camera, okay? So, here we go. Good. So, a bit of a decision point here. Mushrooms and shallots, I should have looked that up first. have cooked down kind of nicely. The peppers aren't quite where I want them. The tomatoes will cook really fast, and the eggs will cook super fast. So I'm just going to leave this stuff in there for a while, maybe about 5 minutes. Okay, my peppers and shallots and mushrooms have kind of cooked to where I want them. So I'm going to dump in the tomatoes. There we go. Get them going. And stir everything around. It smells good, actually. Okay, let that go for a couple minutes. Actually, I want a little more heat built up here, so I'm going to turn this to just below medium. Get the heat up so the eggs will cook very quickly when they hit. Better yet. There we go. 1/3. Good compromise. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to give those tomatoes 4 minutes. This is taking way longer than I thought, but I'm learning something. And that's what counts. Well, this took longer than I thought, but this is exactly about the consistency that I wanted. So I'm going to dump some pepper in here, because it can't hurt, I don't think. And now I'm going to very carefully come over here and grab my eggs and start scrambling them. There we go. Wow, that temperature went down fast, but anyway, I'm going to stick with this and scramble these. Eggs are cooking as I speak, and let's just move these around for a minute or two and see what we get. So it's been a couple of minutes, and my eggs are not cooking as fast as I thought they would. But they're cooking, and I know I'm using lower heat than I could have, but it's a lot easier to wait out low heat than it is to reverse the effects of too high heat. Okay, it's been another 4 minutes. The eggs appear to be cooked. This smells way better than it looks. The one thing that occurred to me is that it seems it's actually way too healthy. We've got to fix that. So I've got a bunch of this mozzarella cheese that I'm not using for anything. So I'm just going to grab a handful of that. There we go. Get some cheese going in there. Yeah. I'll fix that healthiness. And I'm going to get the lid on to melt the cheese. Why don't we do that? That would be intelligent. There we go. What have I done? I have no idea, but whatever I've done, I think is done. I'm going to get it out of there and onto a plate. Well, here it is, the egg, sauteed vegetable, mozzarella cheese scramble. And they say you eat with your eyes before you eat with your mouth, and that's probably not a good idea in this case, but I'm going to give it a taste right here and see what we got. It actually tastes better than it looks by quite a ways. I'm going to go have either an early dinner or a very late breakfast, I don't know which, but this actually isn't bad at all. So I'm going to go eat. Anything I can do or can't do, you can do better. Have fun cooking. I have, and bye for now.